Good morning, Jordan. Let me add you. Okay, Jordan, I just sent you a co-host invite, so that should work. But if not, I think I just did the invite to speak.
That was so easy.
Yay! Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm honestly driving around right now and it's wet, nasty weather. So
Oh, yeah, that's not fun.
I know. Good morning, everyone else hopping on the call. Good morning, you guys. Jordan is on now. Somebody said the barn said good morning. So, Jordan, I know that yesterday you said like you don't really know much about spaces. I love this because it just, obviously right now it enables you and I to speak, which is truly amazing in real time. And then also allows everyone else to be on here enjoying the conversation with us too. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. I when I saw this when you first did it yesterday, I was like, "Oh, that's weird. There's a new thing." It seems like there's always something new. Like
Yeah.
threads for Instagram. Now you just get all these threads and you're like, "Why isn't that in my news feed?"
Right. Yeah. Yeah. X especially, I feel like they're always like now you can do a spaces and you can live stream your video for your spaces. So it's pretty cool.
Very interesting.
Good morning, everyone hopping on. So just for everyone listening, this is kind of just Jordan and I's first time chatting and talking to each other. We're in the same crazy space of not safe for work. But we have never actually like conversed with each other, which is pretty funny because I see your videos all the time and I love them. They are just like I don't know. I feel like through your videos, you can just tell like it's so authentic and it's so like thrilling and fun. And that's kind of what I enjoy out of this. So I just love your stuff.
Well, thank you. I see your stuff too, and I don't know why we've never talked before, really. So this is nice.
Right. Yeah, I know this is awesome. This is so cool. I think like so obviously the very first video that kind of caught my attention of yours was the cop video. And at first I was like, wow, they're doing some great like role playing here. And then I was like, oh no, fuck, that's like a real that's a real cop. I'm like, that is so great. I don't like it. That was just like the best part of the whole thing is like you always see these like acted out scenes and things like that. And I was like, wow, that's just like really authentic and great. I love that.
Yeah, that was definitely something. I don't think I've ever sweat so much in my entire life.
So you guys, did you guys like not know him? He was just
Well, no, so he was actually um a Reddit fan.
no way. Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, so we just kind of came up with a skit
Yeah.
and just kind of did it. Even though I wasn't
Dude,
like
that
really getting pulled over, I was like, I'm still sweating. And he was like, it's okay.
no, that was such a badass video. I mean, I figured that you guys might have known the person, but I figured like maybe it was just like a friend or something that you guys knew, but that is like even better to know that it was a Reddit follower. That is fucking
Oh yeah.
badass.
I do a lot of I'll like let fans know where I'm gonna be in Nashville, and I'll meet with people all the time. Every time I go out, I feel like I meet someone new, and it's really cool.
That's awesome. So you guys live in Nashville. That's where you guys are located at.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you like Nashville?
I love Nashville, although I'm not really liking it right now. It is really freaking cold. And my thing is if it's gonna be cold, it better snow. The first
That is exactly, yes, that's
Yes,
exactly how I
the
feel.
first night it was cold, it snowed, and I was like, okay, I can get with this. Have a fire, have some hot chocolate, something. And yeah, now there's no snow and it's just freezing.
That's so funny. I don't think I've ever been to Nashville before. I know my hubby was there. Gosh, this was probably like 2 years ago.
Oh,
Um, just a family friend was playing actually in a band at the Grand Ole Opry, so he got to go to that.
Oh,
He
that's
really enjoyed
awesome.
that. Yeah, he really enjoyed that a lot. But I don't think I've ever been to Nashville before.
Well, since 2 years ago, it has actually gotten so much bigger. So if you ever decide to come to Nashville, you've
Yeah,
gotta do it. It's a lot of fun.
that's awesome. Seems like there's like a lot of stuff to do as well. I like that a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean it is called Nash Vegas for a reason. There's a lot to do, but like there's a lot not to do like in Nashville. Yeah, you can hit Broadway, you can hit the bars, but there's also stuff like outside of Nashville that you can do that's a lot of fun. So,
Yeah. We lived in Austin not too long ago. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like anything Texas, but
yeah.
um we like just kind of that, or a good mix of like we like the city vibe and we like having things to do, but I don't like the congestion as much and like being around as many people. So it's so funny. We just go back and forth from like we're in a city, we're in the country, we're in a city, we're in the country. We just like can't even make up our minds at all. But I feel like there has to be a place that has good balance like that. Florida, we really enjoyed Florida a whole lot. I miss Florida, honestly.
Yeah, I do love Florida. Nashville's kind of like Austin, just on a bigger scale. I actually did a collab in Austin, and some of the people were from there, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta hit the city," and we did, and I was like, "Okay, this is nothing like Nashville. You guys have to come to Nashville." So they actually flew out, and they're like, "This is Austin like 10 times bigger,"
Oh, wow,
but
wow. And I like that. I like a big city feel. I don't know what about it that I like. Maybe that I like that you're just like nothing in this big city. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you are just a one person out of tons and tons of people, which I enjoy that. Um, and I also enjoy like a good gym. That is like a must for me, is having a good gym to go to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of new gyms popping up in Nashville, but I'm like you said, it's kind of like Austin, where you can go, 30 minutes outside of Nashville, and it's not super congested with all the people, and you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So,
Right,
yeah,
right.
it is really nice.
So I'm just gonna like, this is impromptu, but I'm just gonna throw some questions at you.
Shit.
No testing. You're good. Um, no, I'm just very curious. Like maybe, so how long have you been doing like this? I, I feel like everyone has a different word for it. Sex worker, not safe for work, like content creator, whatever whatever you want to call yourself in this space, but it just, is the not safe for work space. How long have
Mhm.
you been doing this?
Oh gosh, I've been doing it for maybe 4 or 5 years. So
Hmm.
it's been a minute. I was actually started out with a different name, but then I got kind of scared at the
Oh,
yeah, I
really?
got kind of scared at the beginning because it's new, and you're learning as you're going. So,
Yeah.
yeah, then I changed my name and
That's code for recognized, panicked, and then deleted a million karma Reddit.
I did. I freaked out.
Oh my gosh. So what's funny about that is like 3 months into me doing this, because I was a personal trainer before this, and I mean like from sun up to past sundown, I would train my ass off. That is one of the things that I really enjoy doing. Um, but right around COVID, like one of the first things they did in Texas was, of course, shut down
Yeah,
gyms, salons, all this stuff.
yeah.
So of course you can do virtual stuff, which is great, but for me, I really crave that like human
Hmm.
connection in that kind of
Hmm.
space. I just think it makes a big difference. And so about 3 months into me doing Reddit, just Reddit, like I was just enjoying Reddit. I think maybe I had just started an OnlyFans, but I knew nothing about it. Like my fans are who had recommended it. And so I was like, okay, like whatever. I did a free OnlyFans. And about 3 months into it, I know who it is now, but back then I didn't. Someone wrote an anonymous letter to my mom. And they didn't write it. And seriously, girl, I'm like 23 at the time. So this is just
Oh no.
crazy. Um, but they typed up an anonymous letter to my mom, and I know it's somewhere on my pages, but it was a pretty terrible letter. It was very well written, but it was a terrible letter, just talking about like how I'm going to have all these mental health issues if I don't get saved and things like this. Long story short, but they also they copy and pasted one of my like full frontal nude photos
Mm.
and pasted that onto the bottom of the letter and literally mailed
Oh
it
my.
to my mom. My mom, yeah, it's absolutely crazy. My mom, who has no idea what I'm doing, who has no clue about this at all, receives this anonymous letter in the mail to her. And of course, anyone's reaction as a mother, I feel like, would be like, oh shit, what are
Yeah.
you doing? What is this? Um, Now we're fine. But back then, I got so like, just like someone recognized me, like this is, my mom's reeling out of control. What am I going to do? So I got a bot to literally just like delete everything on my
Oh,
Reddit.
yeah. You did the same thing
Absolutely
I did.
everything.
No.
Yes, yes. So and it was one of those things like, do we just let the like what I didn't even know what to do at the time, because I'm like, what is even the next step? And so I was like, I'll just take a break from it, let everybody cool off, let things cool off. And so yeah, so I erased absolutely like everything on Reddit that I possibly could. Um and stopped doing OnlyFans. And then like after a few weeks, I honestly my to make a long story short, my mom and I already had a complicated relationship, and this person had apparently sent a couple letters to my mom. We weren't speaking at the time, so I didn't see the other letters, but I was just like, fuck this. Like, if people are gonna say shit anyways, and my mom's not gonna talk to me anyways, then I might as well go back to doing what I enjoy doing, and chatting with all these people and making money while I do it and having fun and enjoying my life, because it really doesn't change anything about who I am. So
Right.
so after that 3 month hiatus, we got back on everything and started rocking and rolling and started the podcast and started doing everything. And it was just one of those moments where like, I think I had to figure out in my life, like, okay, this doesn't change anything about who I am. I'm a little biased, but I'm still a pretty badass person, in my opinion. And, I enjoy showing off and having fun with my husband. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having a healthy relationship in that
Mhm.
regard. A lot healthier than most of the people in the town that I was from, who are all fucking each other's husbands behind their backs and things like
Yeah.
that. So, so I'm just like, this is, I need to look at all of this. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. My mom like had tried to have an intervention for me and stuff,
Oh my
because
gosh.
this, yeah, but I'm telling you, because this person, now I know it was my husband's ex who was sending these letters,
Well,
but at the
that makes
time,
sense.
Oh,
but at the time, like I was just like I don't know, it was just like a very confusing, like, what is even happening? And then, fast forward to now, we still do everything we do, if not even more now. Now we have the podcast that's almost at 100 episodes and things like that. And it's like, I am so glad that my community in the not safe for work space was there for me during this time, because a lot of people in my life left,
Yeah.
um now they're all back because they realize it didn't fucking change anything to begin with. I'm still me. So everything always works itself out. But yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, I think people just have a problem with the perception of it versus the reality of it. They think you're this new person that they've never known before, but it's just
Right,
actually something that you've kept to yourself because it is your business, not theirs. And once they
right,
figure it out, they freak out, but they don't come to you to talk to you about it,
Ye-
because they're not,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're not actually concerned about your well-being or who this person has become.
Exactly.
They just, want to shit on your parade, and you did not let them. So good for you.
What I had to learn real quick, honestly, was that hurt people want to hurt
Yeah.
people. And when you focus in on that, you realize like first off, I know now that no one's fucking opinion of me matters at all. There is not like a single person on this earth that their opinion of me matters. Um I think being in this space will teach you that because I'm sure people see it, but you know, comments on Reddit can sometimes be fucking mean, or comments on X or comments
Yeah.
anywhere, can be mean. You have to learn real quick, like, are you going to let this shit bother you and eat you up, or are you going to just move on? And that's one thing that I see a lot of other I've never seen you do this, but I see a lot of other creators like try to call people out for mean comments or things like
Mhm.
that. And I'm like, you're totally wasting your time because first off, those people are online behind a keyboard talking shit. That says everything right there that you need to
Yeah.
know. And second, hurt people hurt people. It's that simple. If you don't go around hurting people, you're probably a happy person.
Yeah.
So and if you go around hurting people, you're probably unhappy. So that's just the facts. And I learned in this space that if you like people in my personal life that know me personally outside of Panty Nectar, if they have an issue with Panty Nectar, it's probably because they want to fucking look at it. It's not it has absolutely nothing to do with me in the long
Right.
run.
Yeah, the keyboard
It's so
warriors are the
funny.
best. They sit there and pretend they have all these nice slash hateful things to say, but at the end of the day, if they were standing face to face with you, it's like the first thing they're doing is undressing you with their eyes, and they would never say any of those things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, like,
Exactly. I had
sorry, go ahead.
no, you could go. No,
I
you
have
can go.
fans that like show up and they send messages to me on Reddit like, "Hey, I saw you tonight, but I was too scared to come up." But you
Oh,
want to know what? Those haters are out there and they see you, but they don't have the balls to come up and say that shit to your face.
dang, I love that. I love when you meet like just a real ass random Reddit person that just gets it. I love
Hmm.
that. There was one guy on Reddit, and I don't think I've ever told this story, but this is a pretty funny story. This guy on Reddit, he was from, I say my hometown, but it's really not my hometown. It's just where I like graduated high school. But I went there for 4 years, but whatever, from my hometown. And so I guess he knew me and got on Reddit. He had a throwaway account. And on this throwaway account, he was talking all about like it was his like true throwaway account. Like he was talking about fucking his sister and all kinds of things, like crazy things
Yeah.
on there, right? So he gets on my stuff and starts like trying to talk shit to me, I guess, in the comments and like saying that he knew me or like knew of me, whatever, because he's from my hometown. So long story short, this dude like he just gave away too much personal info. And so I ended up finding him on Facebook, like finding who he was in real life. And so I'm like, oh, okay, Greg, you want your wife to know you fuck your sister? Like, I'm like, people live all these private, secret online lives, and then want to sit here and try to bash you for being open and
Mhm.
honest. Like, it is a true thing that exists in this world, and I don't know, maybe people are more aware of it than they think, but I would say like a good 80-85% of people out there are not truly their authentic
Yeah.
selves out
No,
in the open.
they hide that
People.
shit.
It's the internet that makes it bad.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, and that's what kind of makes it fun about our stuff is it's like plus I'm like, what is anyone gonna say? Like you're ugly? Okay. Like I don't care. You say that to the other million people on here. You know what I mean? Like when you get down to it, it's like there's nothing that can bother me,
Hmm.
honestly. But I feel like Reddit has you get that thick Reddit skin. That's how you that's how you learn to deal
I
with that
mean,
stuff.
just to be on the internet at all, you have to have some thick skin because there are some really hateful people out there, and you're just
Yes.
like, who hurt you? who who
Yeah,
who started your
exactly.
shit? Because I didn't, and you're taking it out on me. But
Or there was a guy there was someone that I knew. I have this friend that's in the fitness space that's a really close friend of mine, and I know some of his friends. I would think that they're my friends as well. And then one day when I left his house, he was telling me about one of his other friends like dogging on me because I'm very like, if you're in my personal life and you ask me about panty nectar, I'll talk to you about it. I'm not trying to hide it or like, conceal it or pretend it doesn't exist. Like panty nectar is panty nectar. And so he was telling me that his friend was like talking shit when I left, like as soon as I left his house. And I was like, oh, that's because that's because he wants to fuck me. That's why. Because he wouldn't be acting like that. He would just be chill, and it has nothing to do with him. It's just so funny how humans work. It's so interesting to me.
I think it's bullshit. I mean, if you're gonna say shit about me behind my back, be able to say it to my face or don't talk about me at all.
Right. But they won't. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. So how long have you guys I completely almost forgot that your husband was there until you started talking. I'm like, "Oh, wait, that's right."
Yeah.
How long have you guys been married? Did you both want to get into this kind of space, or was it maybe one of you more than the other that kind of
It was
persuaded?
it was more one than the other. It was definitely a bet at the very beginning.
She lost that bet.
I have really low self-esteem.
Oh,
So, yeah.
really?
So he was like, "Yeah, I bet you'd make more than, $500." And I was like, "Yeah, I bet I'd make less than 100." And
She set the bar at a retardedly low number. I didn't say any number. I just said, you're going to make so much more than that. It's going to be ridiculous. And she was like, all right, what do you want to bet? I don't remember what we bet, but she was pretty much in the top 1% inside the first 45 days or so. So she lost badly.
I lost terribly. And
But
but I learned that day never to make a bet with him ever again.
but
That's so funny. That's
yeah, we've
awesome
been married for
though.
15 years, together for 17 or 18 now, something like that.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. Well, good for you guys. It seems like just through your content, like being in this space, you kind of figure out real quick, like just who's more authentic and who kind of, is the agency run accounts and there's not really any interaction and things like that. And definitely you guys, y'all's content and like the stuff that you post, I definitely feel like I'm so drawn to it because it is so authentic, and it again just like seems like so much fun, and that you guys are having so much fun. And so I definitely want you guys to know that that pulls through on your videos. And it's just, to me, and I'm sure to other people, that's a very attractive thing,
Yeah.
She's talking about where I troll on you and post it on.
I know, and I really hate when you do that because sometimes I'm like,
No
man,
makeup.
today I look hit and he's taking these videos. Like, I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to scare the shit out of him later and get it on video. But it never happens because my dogs like rat me out. So I'm like, well, shit.
That's so funny. That's so awesome. But it's also so authentic. Like that is one thing that I think makes other creators more palatable in this space, is when you are truly just more authentic. And there's just something about like your content and the things that you do and even the selfies and the things like that. It just seems so authentic and so natural.
Yeah. Well, I found that like early on, if you're not yourself and you're not natural and you put yourself out there and you start to collab with people and you show up to their house and you don't look anything like your photo, that's a real big
Right.
turnoff.
That happens a lot to us.
So, um,
I was about to say, have you guys ever had, like, you don't have to say names, but have you guys ever had an experience where it maybe didn't go like you
There
thought it
should be
yeah,
a
would?
plural,
yeah,
experiences.
there's been quite a few. I mean, we've been doing it for
Really?
years, so yeah, there
There's a
Right.
has
lot of
been
apps that can trim, shape, edge.
That's
Yeah,
exactly right.
change
Yes.
Yeah,
colors
the
and
only editing that really ever happens, I mean, I don't edit any of my shit, but like for hers, like I'll help her watermark photos because she's doing so much shit. So like I'll run a lot of her shit through. When I say editing software, I just mean, watermarking, because we've had so many people catfish
Right.
with fake accounts with her photos.
I mean, when I went to add you guys as a co-host just now, like I just typed in Jordan's, like your username Jordinswetof, and there were so many accounts that popped up that were not even
yeah,
you, like that were crazy. Like one of them even said leaked accounts. It's crazy to me. Like I don't know. I feel like as creators, if you and especially you guys, like this would be different if you guys were like blurring fucking pictures and cropping out things. But you guys post a lot of free content, so it's not like you guys are like, oh, you need to go pay. If you follow your X account, you get plenty of free content. So that's always interesting to me when I see that. And you do people think that it's just as easy as like taking a photo and uploading it, and it's
yeah,
like, oh no. No, you got to watermark, you got to make sure, like there are so many steps to doing this
Yeah,
kind of
there's
yeah,
not a
stuff.
name in the background of a photo or something that's sitting on your nightstand. So yeah, we always run everything through just to make sure, but nothing
Right.
gets. I mean, when we get this all the time when we show up to collabs, especially like big houses with like couples or guys, they'll be like, "Oh shit, she looks exactly like she does in photo, or even better." And I always laugh at that because I'm just like,
Right.
"Yeah, you've been through what I've been through a couple times."
Yeah, that's so funny. So Mr. P and I, we've been married for 4 years now, and I've been doing this for just about that time, 4 years. We have only had two threesomes before. I feel like it's kind of hard for me to like. Maybe I need to do a better job of just like putting myself out there. But I feel like I have such a hard time. Like it doesn't need to be special to me. It just for the people that we like do interact with and collab with or things like that. It just has to be so authentic to me. Like I have to be attracted to you, and it has to seem natural, and that worries me that like I would be in a position where it just wouldn't feel natural.
well, yeah. I mean, it kind of depends. You have to do a lot of like digging and learning about a person before you do a collab because you just never know. And it's good to get that interaction out of the way at the beginning and just kind of figure out
Right.
how people work because there's so many people on these platforms and everyone is different. Some, they like to kind of sort of have a little bit of a date before a collab, or there's some who are just strictly
Right.
business and they're like, okay, book the hotel, I'll show up at this time. They walk in, they take their clothes off and like, okay, you guys ready? So it's just it's a
Oh,
crazy
that makes
world
me
and you just
cringe.
really need to learn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
elements to the swinger lifestyle. Like some people are, business swingers, some people are like legit swingers that kind of wound up in this space because they could monetize it or just kind of
Hmm.
help. Like we've met a lot of people who were swingers first, and they don't really like make OF a like long-term business model. It's more like, hey, I can write off our trips and it helps pay for our, swinger cruises and stuff like that. Whereas
Right.
like we
Right.
obviously we're not those people. We weren't swingers. We kind of just wound up in the space, but we've seen it from
Right.
every end of the spectrum, and it's kind of wild because some people's like the whole date thing, like we're not really into that, to be 100% transparent, because it's like,
Uh-huh.
hey, like, we do it as a business, but we understand, like, we don't just walk into a room and be like, all right, you guys ready, because that's just, it's, you're gonna have the ick on camera.
Yeah, we like to have a good time, like
Right.
cut up, have a drink or something, just kind of get to know other people, and it seems to go really well.
But not gonna do like hang out Friday,
That's
hang
kind
out
of
Saturday, and film on a Sunday, because that's just, to me, I'm like, I don't need to know you for like 3 days. Like
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
well, and then you guys are just like thinking about it the whole time while you're hanging out. That to me would be so awkward. I'd be like, okay, well, we're gonna
Yes.
have sex in a few days, but
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. It definitely has to seem like natural to me. Like one of the girls that we've met with a couple times, her name is Little Kate. And I also try to do a good job of like, whatever I'm pushing to my followers, like I want it to be authentic. So like one time there was this couple, I won't name their name because they don't even deserve the clout on this space, but they wanted to do a podcast, and I ended up learning real quick that they're kind of just like the business people. And in fact, if you don't do business with them, they ban you from every subreddit on Reddit. So they're
Oh,
one of those couples.
wow.
I think I know who this is,
Oh
but we'll
yeah.
keep it off.
We won't name
Yeah.
names.
And so, and it's crazy, like, and that stuff is totally valid. I'm a mod in several subreddits, and like, you can go back through mod mail and see this couple completely destroying other content creators, literally banning them for no reason. But anyways, so I decided, no, you guys are not kind of it just wouldn't be authentic for me to push you to my followers, and I don't feel like, we have the same ideals in line for our followers. Like I just want to be giving my people authentic, like locate.
Oh, I think you went through a bad
Comment.
spot.
Oh, I am going through a bad spot. Is it back?
Yep, you're back.
Okay.
Oh.
I live out in the country, so it's probably going in and out. But yeah, like I just want it. I don't need to hang out either. It's one of those things like I don't need to build up on, for 3 days about it. But I do just want it to be authentic and fun, you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Not a role player.
Do you not like role play?
No, I'm definitely down for some role play. I think it's just like I honestly love. There is a lot of role play stuff that I love doing, and that's one thing that I'm very grateful is that my husband, we both have the same ideas when it comes to that. Like we both love to enjoy other people, and I'm very grateful that I'm in a relationship like that because I honestly don't think you're supposed to just like be married and you only love one person and only see one person attractive for the rest of your life. I don't feel like that's the case. So,
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, yeah. In other countries, I mean, it varies. Everybody's view on marriage and that one and only, it's different in every country.
yeah, the comments. Can you guys see the comments on your end?
Let me see
I
one.
only see one.
So one guy said, fuck them, call them out. Another guy said, hurt people will hurt you, and the only person who will always love you is you. That is the secret to life. That is very correct. Jim said, Jordan is amazing. Hope to meet her for a drink someday.
Yeah, I can't figure out why the comments aren't
Um,
showing up. That's so weird.
I know, and I've never done a co-hosted spaces before, so I'm not sure like exactly how that works. And then the barn said, how do we get more followers? Do we need to post daily? Is it hashtags? If you're talking about on X, the barn, I would definitely just recommend posting consistently. Interact consistently and post consistently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hashtags,
consistency is very important.
I've been told are actually detrimental, but I don't know if there's any validity to that.
Yeah, with the X, I know that they like change stuff all the time, and I'm not sure that hashtags do very good in their
That's what it
algorithm
is.
anymore.
It like
But
not de-algorithms, but it like de-prioritizes in the
it
algorithm.
de-amplifies, yes. Like I think it like thinks you're spam if you're using a bunch of
Yeah, versus
hashtags.
Instagram, where it like obviously would be helping you to wind up in different places that you wouldn't have otherwise. It's the opposite for some.
Mhm.
Yes. Isn't that so funny? Like X, no hashtags, and then you get on Instagram and you're like, hashtag MILF, hashtag sexy, hashtag.
And then Reddit, where there's no such thing as a hashtag.
Yeah, I never really understood.
There's no hashtags, and sometimes they don't even. I posted in one sub the other day, and I didn't realize they don't even allow emojis. I'm like, I can't even express myself.
I love using emojis.
I know. It just helps. I feel like it helps everything.
I mean, it does, because you never know if somebody's being like upset with you. But if you put like a little smiley emoji after you say something, it's like, oh, okay, this is fun and playful, not she's mad at me.
Yeah, inflection.
Yes.
Yes, it helps with
That's
inflection.
so funny. So, do you guys do like custom videos? I assume that you do.
Yeah, I used to do a lot more, but I've kind of stepped back a little bit on that. But I do take custom orders for sure. It just depends on what it is. I get some crazy requests. Sometimes they work out and I'm like, "Hey, let's implement this in our everyday life." But sometimes they just it's like a 17-page script and I want this camera at the 45-degree angles with this lighting and I'm like, "No, no, no, bro. That's not how this works." Oh, there we go.
Did you mute the microphone?
No, I didn't mute the microphone.
That's weird.
I think she went in dead
My
spot.
phone may be messing up
Oh.
a little bit.
Do you do customs? You do lots of customs.
Are you still there,
Yeah, I
Jordan?
can hear you. You can't hear me?
Huh. Hold on.
Oh,
Me.
and then
Now try.
can you hear me now? Nope.
Let me look through the comments while my phone tries to get balanced back out. Texas Dad Bod said this has been a fantastic listen. I've learned a lot about content creation, and I'm pretty sure I'm not cut out for it. I don't have the look.
Yeah.
Oh, there's not a look. I promise. You can be any size, shape, color, anything, and you can do content creation of any kind if you want to. You just have to be consistent. That is authentic and consistent.
Oh, what is that? I don't know what that is.
All right, I'm gonna try to post a reply because I don't know. There, boom. Let's see.
Oh, look, there's comments.
And
That's so weird. It's
Yeah,
like all
I
the
don't
background
know.
noise is gone too. Oh, there's the background noise.
Oh, yeah.
let me go inside and see if you guys can
No.
hear me better because it may be just my phone.
Maybe if we pop off and pop back on.
I don't know.
Let me go inside and see if it works better.
Let's see. Scroll.
Oh, wait, there's two. Oh, no.
Yeah, no. That's the two.
Oh.
That was a class. Yeah.
Oh, now I don't hear her. Hello.
Well, if they can hear you, they
Okay, is this any better, you guys?
I can hear you.
she still can't hear you.
No, you still can't hear me.
So maybe hit the.
If you guys can hear us, then just go ahead and comment under the spaces. Oh, can hear Jordan mostly? Okay, let me.
Oh, so they can hear us.
I wonder if I can leave.
Oh,
Thumbs up, you guys can hear me. Thumbs up if you can hear.
Alright, scroll down.
let's see. Try that.
Jerry gave a thumbs up.
So I guess we just can't hear each other. So I don't know
No,
why I'm
she
still
just can't
talking.
hear you. They
Right.
can only hear you.
That's what I'm saying. She can't hear me. I can hear her.
Maybe if you leave and come back because she's the host. So if she leaves, it ends. So if you leave and pop back on, it should work.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll try it.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me end this and then I'll come back. Maybe that'll fix it.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
That works.
okay.
There, yay! That was totally me then.
I'm glad we could fix that. I was definitely talking, and I hope I didn't say anything super weird.
No, I honestly couldn't hear anything you were saying, but other people were like, I only hear Jordan, so who knows?
We can see comments now, so we fixed that.
Oh, yay, good. Ariana, good morning. The barn said good to go. Okay, so we're good to go.
Gotcha.
Yay. Well, this has been super awesome. I thank both of you guys for taking the time to get on a spaces and figure figure this out and chit chat with me and everyone else here.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed your talk yesterday about your sourdough.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Mr. P's here now too. So he's the sourdough king. And I just eat it.
Nice.
Oh, sounds
Yeah.
like me. I don't. Well, I just eat it.
Yeah.
Tell about the sourdough donuts.
Oh, yeah. So last night I was so he makes this recipe where he makes donut dough out of it, and then we fry the sourdough and make literally the most fresh, amazing. They're not even donuts, they're like donut balls. They're
like beignets.
yeah, beignets.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not
And
sophisticated enough to even know what that is.
it's just like a little like a puffy like pastry type donut type thing.
Hmm. Kind of like a donut hole.
Yes, yeah, exactly like a donut hole.
Yeah.
It should work.
I'm
Oh,
also
do you
too
have
big of a perv for the conversation.
there? I think Mr. P's on here now.
Yeah. So the the beignets, are just French donuts, I think, and then um, these that I make is just like traditional sour. I just make the traditional sourdough, right? Make a starter, flour, water, and then use the starter and to make the dough, which is just starter, water, flour, avocado oil, and a little bit of salt. And then, but when I make the donuts, I just make the dough a little bit wetter, and by doing that, I go to a 1-to-1 ratio of water to starter,
Mm-hmm.
and then add quite a bit of honey to it, and like maybe like I don't know, like a half a cup or 3/4 cup of honey or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
A few drops of vanilla extract and some cinnamon. Mix that shit up, and then
It's amazing.
oh, it's amazing. Yeah, like let it sit for a day or so, and then it gets much more fluffy and airy, and then just cut it out into like little squares, like tiny little squares, like a like if you cut it into like an inch by inch square,
Mm-hmm.
then that's going to fluff up and be like a probably like I don't know, an inch and a half or two. It probably like doubles in size,
Yeah.
maybe not quite when you fry it, but you only have to fry it for we put it on the stove in the skillet with avocado oil, put it up to 300 degrees or whatever it is, 325, and then put some honey and cinnamon on it at the end, and get fat as fuck.
Well,
This
not
person
really.
this person said basically the key is to make it wetter. Got it. That is exactly the key.
I don't know if you said
Yeah,
that,
right.
but
That's a it's a good guide for life.
Yeah.
But no, it's delicious. I'm looking at it. Last night when I made it, I was making the dough, and when I finished making it, I was like, man, I know I'm missing something. It feels like I'm missing something. I looked around and I couldn't find anything that I was missing, so I covered up and walked away, and then realized I forgot to put the honey in it.
Oh.
So I had done everything, but forgot to put the honey in it. And so I had to like I had already formed the dough,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to go back and just like pour a bunch of honey over it.
talk about.
It was really good. Let's see, I'm gonna take a picture of it here and then uh post it to X so y'all can see.
Did you guys? Okay, so there's this comment. One of the OF says Fan Rain. They're talking about Sophia Rain or Sophie Rain or whatever her name is. Mentioned sharing 43 million this year. Do you guys think that's legit?
Yeah.
You want to take this one? Because I definitely can answer this with 100% certainty.
Yeah.
That's 1000% true. Now, as far as did she make that? I don't know, but is that possible? 1000%. We've met quite a few people that maybe not in the 40 million a year, but are in the like 20, 25 million a year. So it is, and they're like less known as far as, TikTok, Instagram, all that. So I have no reservations that that's a feasible number, as crazy as it sounds.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't follow Sophie Rain on anything, but she's always on my Instagram.
Yeah. And people like downplay that. We don't use Instagram or TikTok,
I can't understand TikTok,
but
and I can't dance. I'm just, it will look so bad.
like you've seen Jelly Bean Brain. She's like 4'10". She says she's 4'10". She looks very small. She's under 5 feet for sure, but she has all the supercars and she gets up on top of the roof and busts the windshields out and just kind of dances
Oh,
around.
yes. She
She
did the
makes
Cybertruck, I think, one
yeah,
time.
she makes 1 to 2 million a month.
Those hurt my feelings.
Yes, we are car people,
I
and
love cars.
every time we see those, we're like, ugh.
I know how much that windshield costs. Don't do that.
Yeah, that F8 windshield's probably a smooth 7,500 to 10 grand. Ugh.
I love the Cybertruck videos of people just trying to like smash them out too. Those are the best.
Oh, you're talking about Whistling Diesel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's actually, I wouldn't say a friend of ours, but we know him pretty well. We go out into the same spaces.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he lives here in, well, not in Nashville, but like 15, 20 minutes south of Nashville. So his manager, the guy that does all his producing, is a friend of one of my really good friends. So we wind up in the same areas a lot.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
was babe, they live in Nashville, so I was telling them you were actually there what, like 2 years ago or something you went?
Yeah, September 22, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
We stayed at the whoever the guy is that puts on what's it? I don't know. You may be more familiar with it. It's the underground music venue that's like in a cave type thing.
Oh yeah. Isn't that more?
Were you
No.
there for which person did you watch there?
Well, I didn't go to the show. We were going to a show at the Opry, and but this dude rents out his house, and it just so happened to be like on Airbnb, and so I was just on Airbnb, and I was just renting a house for a few days, and I saw this house and it's like this historic home in Nashville, and what's it? It's called. There's a name for the house, like the Gibson House or some shit. I don't remember,
Oh, okay.
but it's on like 13 acres or something like that. And I'm not familiar with Nashville, right? But it's like kind of on the eastern side,
Mm-hmm.
and it's where um, June Carter um, and Maybelline Carter. It's where she died actually, and then when June and Johnny got together, I believe they lived at that house for a little bit. Um, and then Elvis had stayed. And like, there's this whole history to this home, right? And the Ring of Fire, the song "Ring of Fire" was actually written in this home, and like all the memorabilia and stuff of like all of the guy. His name's like Tom or I didn't meet him. I didn't, I just it was just like a typical Airbnb booking, um, but it is really interesting. And but yeah, they do like an underground. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really really cool. So it's a really neat place.
Yeah. I mean, it has grown substantially in the last couple of years, so it would be interesting to have you back out and see
Yeah, watching
the
Nashville
difference.
timeline videos are always really funny. Like a 10-year span, it's like two different worlds.
Yeah. And
Oh god,
there's tons of like famous people that have Airbnbs in Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, we do the bar thing a lot just because we we just like to go out and hang out with people.
I
But
show my titties at Barstool.
yeah, she
Love that.
she does a lot of public flashing stuff just because people seem to get a kick out of it. But
yeah.
like Post Malone's always chilling at Pushing Daisies, which is right across from the Bridgestone Arena where the Preds play. And then lots of other guys. You see Morgan Wallen cruising around a lot.
I see a lot of
Jelly
celebrities.
Roll. I mean, a lot of celebs. But it's interesting in Nashville because they just, like, I guess here, because people maybe are used to it, nobody really mobs them. So you can kind of, like Theo Vaughn. I don't know if you guys are into comedy. Yeah, he'll just be chilling. We'll just walk up, be like, hey, what's up? And he'll talk to you like a normal dude for 10, 15 minutes. Then he'll go about his business. We'll go about ours. Like, it's a very chill scene.
Yeah, it's not like being mobbed by like you're in LA or something, like paparazzi. So yeah,
It's weird. Like in Miami, we've seen it too. Like people will just mob people, but like in Nashville, I don't know if it's a people thing or just people are just used to it. But you can just bump into people and nobody really makes a huge ordeal about it. So
well, it's probably I mean, if you think it through, like I'm I don't know anything about Nashville, like haven't spent much time there at all, but um, Nashville is I know it's grown recently, but in the grand scheme of things, it's on the smaller side of cities, right? Yet in that small small area, smaller population, you have a very high percentage of um, quote unquote famous people, if you will, celebrities, right? Like, especially when you're going back into like the 1960s and 70s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So whereas like in Nashville, you could pop into a dive bar, and maybe no telling who you could see. And it's probably like you people tell stories more about that shit versus like here in Texas, it's like all anybody wants to talk about is like George Strait folklore.
Yeah.
Like George Strait wouldn't use the restroom at the gas station over here. It's like shut the fuck up, dude.
yeah,
Who cares?
we saw that when we got off the airplane there at one of our collabs. I want to say it was in Dallas. It may have been Austin, but yeah, there was like this whole area dedicated to him. Like,
Yeah, it was just a hallway of
yeah,
memorabilia, and I was like, I feel like I'm in a museum. I don't know.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
he's a goat for sure, but it was a little strange. I was like,
It's
whoa.
great.
That's one thing that we miss about Florida is just like the life that is there. Everyone is like, staying healthy and moving and partying just as hard as they're staying healthy. And like, it's just an awesome atmosphere.
What part of Florida were you guys in?
We were in Fort Lauderdale for a little bit and then we went down to the Keys for a little bit. But Fort Lauderdale, I miss that so much. I don't miss the amount of people there, but where we were at, we were right by the beach, so we never drove anywhere other than the grocery store. We walked everywhere else, or running by the beach. Like I just miss that so much.
That is cool. I don't think I've ever been to Fort Lauderdale. I've been to Destin,
It's
but
Miami. It's kind of the
okay,
same
Yeah,
thing.
it's just a little bit north of that. Yeah.
gotcha. Well,
Yeah, it's like you won't know the difference like if you're just driving from
Yeah.
Miami to Fort Lauderdale, basically, but it's like it's a world away. I don't know what to compare it to, but like Fort Lauderdale is nothing like Miami, other than they share, kind of a geographic region, but like, like the nightlife, just the vibe, the overall,
yeah.
it's just different.
Yeah.
It's funny, we went to, well, he wanted to visit Miami and I think I was probably 6 months pregnant at the time. So I'm like, I am not, like, you've lost your mind. I'm not going to Miami. And so he was like, okay, will you settle with Fort Lauderdale? And so I said, okay, well, I'll go to Fort Lauderdale. And we went to visit and I think not even like 3 or 4 weeks later, we packed up the car and moved to Florida. Like we loved it that much, Fort
Gosh.
Lauderdale.
This
Yeah.
is from Texas.
Yeah, from Texas, from South Texas at that as well.
Oh, well, yeah, I can see immediately why this happened. You guys, Texas has these exit systems. I'll let her elaborate on them.
Your roads are so shitty. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. We went there for a collab and we're like, you know what? It's early in the morning. I'm really hungry. Let's just shoot over to Denny's. It's on the left side of the highway. It took us
Oh,
almost 30 minutes to get there.
Oh
We
God.
could see it.
oh.
I couldn't see it.
Oh
You could
no.
see it and then it would disappear and then you're like, "Oh, there it is again."
You
And
have to go up like 7 miles to find a bridge to go over the freeway to come back 7 miles to get to the Denny's that you saw that literally was 200 yards from you.
yeah, and by that time you just
Wow.
get frustrated and you're like, "You know what? I'm not fucking hungry anymore. Let's get back on the interstate." And you're like, "Wait, how do I do that?"
Yeah.
It is crazy. They will like, it's weird. They'll like purposely put on ramps like right before exit ramps, and you're
Oh,
like,
I,
what's happening here?
I've almost killed us in a Toro twice, and I'm a driver. That system confused the fuck out of me.
So frustrating.
Where were y'all at?
I mean, it's
Uh,
everywhere in Texas. I mean, I used
we
to
went
buy
to
cars out
Austin
there.
and Houston.
Dallas, between Austin and Dallas, like those. That's
Oh,
the
fuck
worst
that.
for
Yeah.
me. Oh,
Yeah, you're right. That's the
It
worst.
was terrible.
Houston
35, dude. Like,
especially too is bad.
Yeah. Well, so now when we go to Texas, we're like, okay, we're gonna only travel like a
what
mile or two down the road, and
what
that's it.
fuckery awaits us on this
Oh,
trip?
that's
You
hilarious.
got some cool bridges. The bridges are sick. Like you'll come up on this bridge
Oh,
that's
they're
like looks like an
massive.
amusement park, but
Yeah.
yeah, but
I mean, if you like, I guess you've driven through Austin, right, on 35. Like that is the absolute worst design layout. You know, where they have the upper and lower type thing, but like the exits happen, the exits and entrance. You know, like the off and on ramps happen immediately.
Yeah.
yeah,
So like, there's a lot of people that get in wrecks right
yeah,
there
it's
all the
it's like
time.
Frogger.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. So you're like, what the fuck? And you can't go anywhere, you know, like if you're just trying to drink, because there's, you know, concrete walls on each side of you.
Right.
Yeah,
Austin has changed so much. You guys talk about Nashville changing, like Austin is fucking, I don't know, it's fucking terrible now, in my opinion. But um, like
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
sad.
it's sad, man. Like it is not because like it's grown. Like I think the growth's cool, you know, like as far as like, you know, new shit coming in and like big, like pretty cool buildings, but it's everything else. And but I mean it's like the skyline has changed there. I'm sure there's math on it. People keep track of this shit, but I'd say like over the past 20 years, you know, the skyline's at least doubled. You know, you talk about like tall buildings. Um, It's pretty wild.
yeah. I don't have
But and the thing is like the space hasn't grown. You know, like there's really nowhere to kind of grow. You know, so it's like it's just more shit getting piled into the same place.
yeah, because the footprint can't change that much.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you guys should have to read comments. I don't know why, but like we finally got them, and then they quit updating. So it's been the same number since like the beginning. So I don't want people to think that they're getting ignored. We just can't see comments.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
in the comments in here, there I've been checking them periodically. There's really nothing.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine.
Some people said hi, but
Oh,
that's
Hey,
it.
there's the dough.
did y'all see my sourdough
Ooh,
dough?
Just now got it to
yeah.
update.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
d-
There
that's
you go.
I just took it. So that's the donut dough. So I mixed that up last night, and then at about 10 p.m., you know, our time, and then when I woke up this morning, I rolled it out again, and then I'll let it sit for the rest of the day, and then I'll probably cook some this evening and save the rest for tomorrow morning. But they'll be best tomorrow morning.
Hmm, that's interesting.
they're amazing. The
Yeah, they're
I would,
best.
amazing.
Oh,
I would, I'd be
It's such
three.
a long
I'd
process.
be 300 pounds for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. So he literally has to put the
Yeah.
starter in the fridge to pause it for like a couple days because we will just so consistently eat bread because it's so amazing.
Yeah.
I can't figure out sourdough. I kill it.
Yeah, it took me a little bit, but once I got it, I'm like, oh, this is all there is to it. You know.
She's
Yeah.
being modest. Like literally everybody comes to our house for food constantly.
Yes,
Oh,
food. Food I can cook, but when it comes to like making bread, I made a couple loaves one
They
time.
were phenomenal.
There was a hole down the middle. It was completely hollow.
She said one time. The other 10 times it was great.
that's so funny.
Hey
But
man,
Yeah.
but it's unforgiving, right? Like it's either good or it's not, and there's no like faking it, you know. Like it's if you burn it, you burn it. You fuck it up. One time I forgot to put salt in it,
Mm,
and I did not realize why we put salt in bread until then. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely horrible. It didn't taste anything like bread. It just tasted like this nasty crap, you know. But
yeah.
it was good. And that was the only time I made that mistake. I make a lot of other mistakes, but usually don't fuck up the bread too bad.
I want to hear about this podcast that you guys have
Yeah.
because this is news to me.
Yeah, so we it is the PN98 podcast. We are almost at 100 episodes on it, and we probably have been doing it since we lived in Florida, I believe is when we started it.
So what do you talk about?
There's just all kinds of things. We cover everything from, we've had some pretty crazy topics about like how lingerie got started. We talk about sex stuff, obviously. We did do an interview. I don't know if you guys are familiar with She Is a Tang, but we did like a little video chat with her for a podcast episode. So that was pretty cool. But it's just all things. So like, it's just random. It's just about how to live a healthy and authentic life. And so it's all kinds of topics, honestly.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah.
been on the back burner, unfortunately, but yeah.
Ran out of things to talk about.
No, it's just life, like we,
Uh,
just like everyone else, it's like there's real life shit going on, um, and it's, the podcast says, that's not our bread and butter, but with that being said, like I truly enjoy, and so does she, like doing the podcast. Like it
Yeah.
is fun. You know what I mean? Like I like that would be something I could totally do every day forever.
We
Just
we
sitting there
totally
because
we watched
I
the
like
episodes back and we just laugh so hard at ourselves the whole time.
yeah.
oh my gosh.
I get that. She
Yeah.
did one iHeart interview,
Oh,
and
it
I
was
love
so
to
bad.
listen. It was not
It was
bad.
so bad.
It was
It
great.
was so bad.
I'm
I
gonna
was
link you guys to it. It's actually really
Yes.
good.
It was so bad. Well, you did one. He did one for a friend, and he ended up talking about
Whoa! These were pre-discussed topics.
orcas.
That was the
And
topic.
you said something about their blowhole, and then
No,
it
whoa,
went.
whoa, whoa! That didn't happen.
Mm,
I said that they're. I don't remember. It
I
had
don't
something to do with the
remember.
short. There was a short
That's
version.
hilarious.
That was the good thing about COVID is that you just had so much time to do shit. So
Mhm.
people made a fuck ton of podcasts.
Yeah.
And now it's like life is ramping back up and there's you just have so much shit to do in your day and there's not enough time to do it.
Yeah.
People try to get us to do one because they think that, like, you guys have seen the tamed version of us so far, but it's like
They tell
some of
us
the
we should
crazy
have
shit we do,
a
like, 'cause
YouTube channel.
yeah,
People tell us we need a YouTube
we do a
channel.
lot of collabs, like a lot of collab. I mean, not really that many compared to a lot of people, I guess. But so we have like all these crazy stories because we fly places, like when we go to Exotica and just like some of the crazy random shit that happens.
Right.
And we'll just talk about it with people, and they'll just like snot out their nose laughing. And they're like, because it's like you mentioned earlier, like this lifestyle is so unusual to people, even though they're doing all this weird fuck shit behind the
Yeah.
scenes. We just do it out in the open,
Exactly.
but somehow it being on the internet is what makes it bad. Because if you really break it down for
Yep.
people and you're like, what about this has like is such an issue for you?
Yeah.
Like our families, for example, like my brother, it was like he didn't like we're still cool, but like he just you could see it in his eyes. He was like almost disturbed. And I'm like, bro, what are you like the shit I saw you do when we were in high school
Oh.
together? Like
Yeah.
what are you like? You're the last guy. And he's like, yeah, but it's not on the internet. I'm like,
That's the thing.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, because your neighbor
Because
doesn't know about it.
Exactly.
right. It's like, oh, well, I'm secretive about it, so it's cool. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not secretive about it, so it's not cool. But anyways, yeah, it's just when we tell people, they just like it intrigues them because it's like this is how I really want to live outwardly, but I
Exactly.
can't.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So for some reason, when you expound on that kind of stuff publicly or in a podcast forum, people like gravitate to it because it's like
Yep.
almost like living vicariously through someone else to a degree, I guess.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And you nailed it. It's like you talk to people in private, and it doesn't matter, like privately, you have private discussions. It doesn't matter if it's a 20 something year old college student or like literally like a 60, 70-year old boomer. Like they're all like, holy shit, that's pretty dang cool. Like I'd actually like to do, but I can't for whatever reason. Then you meet those
Right.
same people in public, and of course not the same people, but the same type person, and overwhelmingly it's just the opposite. Like, you see all the shit you see on the news. Like, just go, go on X and read somebody's post about whatever, like on the safe for work side of things, and go through the comments, and everyone's like, oh, how could they, like she must have daddy issues or this or that, or like
Yeah.
it's like they have a terrible life. And I'm reading through this shit and thinking like we have one of the most stable fucking home environments around. Like talking about me and my wife and like our family, and I'm like, I just laugh the whole time because it's the exact opposite. And that's not to say that there's not people that do this, that go out and fucking are crazy and doing whatever. That's on them. There's people that are fucking crazy regardless. You know what I mean? Like I
It's
was actually way fucking crazier before I ever showed my dick on the internet on OnlyFans. Like seriously, like doing drugs and shit. Like I don't do drugs anymore. I don't even fucking drink. And
yeah.
and once again, that's not to say I don't care what other people do. I'm just talking for myself. And so
Mhm.
so to say that like, oh, because like you have an OnlyFans, that's a common theme. Because you have an OnlyFans, you're this. It's like it actually is the exact opposite for me.
Yeah. Well, it's because their minds can't comprehend it, so they have to have a reason. Like there has to be something that put that person there. There's a reason for it because they can't themselves
Right.
put them in that mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Babe, I was telling them about the first off the letters, obviously the anonymous letters, but and then about that guy on Reddit that tried to talk shit, but we found who he was in real life.
Yeah, in like 30 minutes. Just
Yeah.
like right away. Yeah, it was like, you fucking idiot,
FBI ain't got shit on me.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but you guys should. I recommend a podcast. I personally think everybody should do a podcast. Like, because
Yes.
when you sit down and you talk to somebody and like you actually like really talk to them, it doesn't matter who it is, anybody in your life, or complete stranger, a gas station attendant. You sit and you talk to them for 2 hours. Like, everybody has a story, and everybody has something that they regret. Everybody has something that they wish they would have done different. And everybody has something that they've done good that we can learn from, and like that's
Mhm.
just the human connection. And so today, in today's world, like, once again, speaking for myself, like in today's world, we're much more disconnected in a sense because we're so connected, right? Like the internet brought the world together, yes, and everything happens instantaneously like that. But the reality is we're all stuck in our devices versus being stuck in front of each other, talking to each other at social events or whatever the case may be. So podcasts are a great way for people to connect in that realm, and it's like and you know, you can talk about anything you want to talk about. If you have, like, for instance, I just got into gardening recently, and and
He is so either 0 or 100. So this is his 100
I'm
right now.
obsessed with it. Last night I was tossing and turning in bed at 11 o'clock because all I could think about was gardening, and I woke, yeah, like, and so like I was like, oh, like I need to start a podcast about that, and it's like, but the thing is, I started thinking like, oh, well, like I don't know shit about it. There's people out there that know so much more than me. Of course there is. But then the reality is like there's millions of people that are in the same shoes as me that like want to get started but really don't know how, don't know where to start, what to do. And um I think Gary Vaynerchuk has a good way of putting it. He says document, not create. Just
Mhm.
document what you do, and um, especially for a podcast. And
Yeah.
and it's crazy. Like if you guys started a podcast, like the three reasons I loved in the podcast is like, one, like the tech side stuff, like not that it's like real technically hard, but you can make it as complicated as you want, of course, like with a studio setup or whatever, or you can just record a podcast on your phone.
Mhm.
But then, like, talking about different um, topics, is always fun. But then the third thing is when you start a podcast, your podcast, and I missed your name, dude. I'm sorry. But you were talking about how people live vicariously, through that, or in a sense, like with the podcast especially, and that becomes your big umbrella, right? So like where you are right now, think of like yourself right where y'all are and whatever your brand is. Like when you do a podcast, like the podcast reaches so many more people because people can tune into this shit on the subway in their ear or driving to work or sitting at work in their cubicle where they can't be on Reddit
Yeah.
or Twitter or X or OnlyFans, right? Yet they're
Yeah.
consuming the same content. And in one episode, they're listening to, how y'all did some crazy freaking, a collab event, and it was this wild, this wild, this wild. And the next episode, they're talking about how like y'all are like real life human beings doing some real shit, and it's like it's a real connection, and people really really connect with it. Our podcast before got, I don't know if she told you, but our podcast had made it to like the top 32 on Spotify
Yeah.
for not overall, not on the overall charts, but for because you have to put it in a category, right? So ours was under like health and wellness, and we were number 32
Wow.
in that for a while before it got mass reported and shut down by whoever did that. Yeah.
Wow.
See, that's the
Yeah,
kind of shit that
that's
scares
another.
me about that because like I would probably talk about some stuff that I don't know. I mean, I guess you can talk about whatever you want, but at the same time you can't. That's where it kind of gets cloudy for me. But like you had joked earlier about like some of the random shit people say on Reddit. Like one of the biggest things we run into is like race baiting kind of stuff, which is really weird
Uh-huh.
because she's Asian. So I'm like, I don't know how to break that down because it's like you're not balancing your content genre enough, and it's like, wait, what? Because you'll have a dude that jumps on, it's like, why are you never with black guys? And it's like, you haven't been scrolling very long, bud. And then it's like,
Right.
you'll have another guy that's like, why do you only do black guys? And it's like,
Oh my
scroll
gosh.
scroll up
Hmm.
to that guy's comment because he thinks the polar opposite. And
Oh
then you
yeah.
get dudes that jump on and they're like, do you hate Asians? And it's like, I am one. Like,
Yeah.
what? Like so random. So that would be
Oh
stuff I
my
would talk
gosh.
about, and then it's like I don't know what's okay to expound on and what's not.
Yeah, kind of like controversial
Yeah, because that's
stuff
what people
about.
want to hear. Like the dude earlier was in the comment thread was like, "Out him. We want to hear the tea." Kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
people want to hear about all the crazy shit and all the wild shit, and maybe some of the shit that goes on behind the curtain, so to speak, when the camera's not necessarily rolling. Because we edit all that stuff out, but sometimes I'm like, this would be funny if we left this in. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
like you guys touched on it earlier, like the realness of it, the authenticity is what makes people, I mean, anybody can go watch porn, but like to kind of see
Exactly.
more, you set a camera in the corner the entire time and let it roll so you can like people can watch how it really happens. I think
Yeah.
it
Right.
would surprise a lot of people.
I love a good BTS reel.
Yeah, good behind the scenes
Yes.
content. But yeah, like we would talk about all that stuff, but while also paying respect to other creators, because like we would never out people for, I mean, sometimes people bring their A game and sometimes people bring their D game, pardon the pun. Uh,
Right.
and it's, like I've been there on
Yeah.
both ends of that also. So we would never out anybody, but I think it's still funny to tell stories and stuff.
I think people would definitely love to hear that. And I think the great thing about the podcast, especially in like our senses, our listeners and so many other people that don't even have a clue who Panty Nectar is, they're literally just coming up on our podcast finding it. I think it's pretty cool that we're able to like kind of just be ourselves more on that platform. And like, when like just like Joe Rogan, when you sit down for 3 hours with somebody, you really get to see who those people are. And so it's nice to be able to like just sit down for a podcast and like fuck around and joke around. And I'm telling you, I die at our podcast sometimes because I'm like, why did I say that? Or like, I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I look at you like that? Or I'll be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? So it is awesome to just like have a truly authentic thing. And it's really, I think y'all's listeners and so many other people that maybe don't even watch your content, but would love to hear about your life and like what you guys do and all the adventures that you have. I definitely think people would love that.
Yeah, I mean, people love window shopping, and you're kind of giving
Yes,
to look into your life.
exactly.
I don't think they want to look through my window, but we'll,
Yeah.
dude, listen, we, I'll tell you one quick one. Okay. Look,
Wait,
so
is it safe
it, I mean, for this space, yeah, for sure.
for me?
Yeah, I'd say for you. All right.
She said for me.
So like we've like with her page, she'll reach out and be like, "Hey, what do you guys want to see?" Kind of almost like giving them the choice. Like, what do you
Right.
guys want to see more of? What's working? What's not? I mean, it's like a two-way street. It helps obviously financially to do the things that are advantageous, but also like we want people to
Be
see,
happy and
yeah, see
like
what
my
they want to
content.
see. So,
Right.
and the turnover on fans is so crazy on OF. I don't think people realize how much turnover there is. So you could take a poll 30 days apart and it have completely different results.
Uh-huh.
So one of them was gangbang. So I was like, I looked over and I was like,
You're taking dick, babe. And I
are
was
you,
like,
how do you feel about this? And she looked at me, she was like, how do you feel with 2, 3 other dudes? And I was like, I guess we're going to find out. Well, we've gotten kind of like used to doing that kind of content, like male, female threesomes and, like DVP content and stuff like that. So I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. We've wound up in some situations where I think we've edited most of it out, but it would be funny to like go back and sell like those, or not even sell, just give people like those 2-minute clips of like the parts we edited out. Have you guys heard the term friendly fire?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
Oh
Listen,
gosh.
that's all fun and games until it happens in real life.
Oh
That's like
no.
one of those things where once you feel it, you can't unfeel it, and then it's just like this. It was a tough moment for me. Here,
Oh my
so here's what
gosh.
I'm going to tell Mr. P. I think that's what you go by.
Yeah.
Be the faster comer. Don't
be the
ever
first,
pride.
don't be the
Yeah,
last.
don't. When you're first, you're last. That's a lie. When you're first, you're first. When you're last, you're very last. Because
Oh my
you're gonna
gosh.
be wearing some stuff that wasn't there when you walked in the room. And look, man, all I'm saying is even though it's on the inside, you still know
It
about
still
it.
comes outside.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
so
It's like
funny.
you don't really think it through until it's happened, and then I'm like, oh man,
Well, like
that's
you get these ideas and you're just like, oh, this would look great on camera. And then once it happens, you're like, I fucked up.
yeah. We did the
Oh
first
my
the first one
god.
we ever did was in Austin, and it was with Texas Snacks and her man, and
Yes, yeah.
Victoria Batty and her man, and we had another friend that also is from Texas. He's not a creator anymore, but anyways, we were doing like I guess that would be a sevensome. I don't know. It was kind of this weird thing that we didn't really talk through. It just kind of happened. And at the very end of the video, Snacks was like, make me squirt. So I stick. He was okay. So I'm trying to think of what this position is called. He was on his back. She was on her back on top of him. So they're both facing the ceiling, right? We were doing a DVP. So I was
Okay.
on top facing down at both of them. She's obviously in the middle. So I guess that
Yeah.
would be like reverse cowgirl laying down, but with the DVP.
Uh-huh.
So I'm in the missionary spot. Anyways, I pull it out and he pulls his out and I go to put my fingers in her. But when I'm doing the motion, the back of my hand is hitting the tip of the stick. And it was like one of those, like, once I realized it was happening, she starts going. So I'm like, well, I can't stop.
Can't stop.
This whole thing's on camera, by the way. And like, we just had this massive laugh afterwards because, like, when we see them, we're always just like, it's not gay. It was the back of the hand. It's just like
Oh my
it's like
gosh.
TSA at the airport. Like they just pat you down with the back of their
Yeah.
hand. It's not fondling.
Oh my
So yeah, we've
gosh.
got all these. These are the pretty PG-13 versions of some of these stories, but we've got some pretty wild ones. She's got some pretty wild ones.
Yeah, I found out that I am somewhat allergic to semen. So
Oh
yeah,
no.
when it gets in
Wow.
my eye, it swells and itches and turns red, and you find some pretty interesting things that collapse.
That's hilarious. You know who there's another couple on here, Jesse and Jackson. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but they post their bloopers sometimes, and I'm not gonna lie, that shit has me dying, crying, laughing. I think there was a scene one time, and they do very authentic stuff. Like they just set up a camera in the room and then like do their thing, you know? And
Mm.
they were like totally in the moment. And I think she said something like something about like she accidentally said her dick and she didn't, she meant to say his dick, and so they just stop in the moment and they both die laughing because it just like ruined it, you know. But they post some bloopers and that shit is hilarious to me. So you guys should definitely post some bloopers.
our last gangbang, we have about a 7 minute blooper reel. You know, she's all like the couch separated. We were at this big Airbnb that my buddy owns, and we were, you know, doing the DVP part, and all of a sudden the L in the couch
It
just
just
opens.
falls
So like everybody just kind of winds up kind of
in it.
leaning into the floor together,
That's
and
hilarious.
you know, her getting cramps, and you know, she'll just scream butt cramp,
I
and
have
then
to
everybody,
starfish.
she does this little starfish move, and yeah, and then me, like, you know, she's got fucking at one point she has jizz all over her boobs, and she like turns around and is like cowgirl on top of me, and she's like leaning in. I'm like, get the fuck back.
Yeah.
That's too like, I'm not. You're not gonna fucking get that on
Like,
me. Like,
you want to suck in them titties now, bitch?
yeah, she literally says that, and I'm just like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna respectfully pass at this moment.
That's
So yeah,
great.
we did in fact finally do a blooper reel on her last big group video. So they are the best.
That's
They like we watched,
awesome.
yeah, we
Yeah,
watched those back
everybody
and
loves
laugh.
them.
So
No, that's the best when you can definitely just watch your stuff back and laugh at it. That is just the absolute best.
yeah, the dirty talk I think is what is kind of becoming her big niche now. Because well, the squirting obviously was always one of them, but the dirty talk's kind of become another one. She got on Sext Panther about a year ago,
Uh-huh.
and that's like kind of really, that's, you want to talk about some wild people. That's where you find them.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
some
familiar with
very
Sex Panther.
But
Yeah.
but you got to be careful because like you get into role play with Sex Panther,
tell the piggy
and
story.
then
Tell this.
no,
Tell
shut
the
up.
piggy story.
And if you start to incorporate some of that with your man, and you get in that headspace, you kind of forget that he doesn't like certain
Uh,
things. He just likes some of it. So like I'm on top, and I'm doing my dirty talk, and I'm like, yeah, you like that, you little bitch, and we just stop, and he's like, well,
uh,
I'm not okay with that. And I was like, I wasn't either. I to be honest, it just kind of split out.
oh my gosh.
I'm a good sized dude. She's 4'11", so like I can pick her up with like one hand, and I'm just like looking at her like that's not a safe thing to say around me.
Oh,
I'm like, whoa. But yeah,
that's
no,
funny.
she gets these dudes, like there's a lot of SPH stuff on there, and like very like cuck oriented guys, which you know we don't kink shame. Whatever your thing is, your thing is.
Yeah.
But there was this one. I'm gonna let her tell it because it's better when she tells it. But there was this one
Which
guy,
one?
the pay pig guy. We had never heard of a pay pig before.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if you guys are
Oh
familiar with
yeah, no,
that.
Yeah.
I've never had one, and that was a complete utter shock to me.
The piggy go Mickey thing.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it just different. It differs with each person, but yeah, he kind of told me what he wanted. He didn't want me to take my clothes off. Then he wanted to see my feet, and I wasn't prepared for a very deep voiced man to say, um
His camera's not on, by the way, so she
yeah,
can't see him.
like I show him my feet, and he's like, yeah, call me your little bitch. I'm like, yeah, you like my feet, you little bitch. And he goes, piggy go oinky, piggy go oinky. I tell you, hubby was laying next to me in bed. He rolled off the bed trying not to
Audibly laugh.
audibly
Oh my
laugh or
gosh.
say anything, and I'm just over here just degrading this guy while he's saying piggy go oinky. And after the call, I just hang up, and I'm just sitting there silent, waiting for him to pop up from the other side of the bed.
I listen. I didn't want to laugh out loud. She's doing all this right, so I roll off the bed and then just plop my face into the mattress so that if noise is coming out, you won't hear it. And she's doing all this thing. The thing about Sex Panthers, they just, I mean, which I'm sure you know, they just hang up when they're done, right? And that
Yeah.
stops the transaction, I guess. So once the phone hangs up, I just hear silence. She doesn't say anything. So like about 7 to 10 seconds goes by, and at this point, I don't know if it's still going or not because I've
Uh,
been surprised this entire time by what's going on. So I'm like, hey, the silence might be part of the whole spiel. I don't know. So I just like gently just peek my eyes over the edge of the bed, and the face she was making towards me, I will never forget. It is seared into my brain forever. And I literally was just like, what the fuck was that? And she goes, what is like what, I don't even know how to explain what just took place. And I was like, how the fuck did you nail that so well as if that
Oh
wasn't the
my
first time you've ever
gosh.
done it?
I fucking rocked it, and he loved it.
He loved it, and then tipped like another $100 after the call. So it was like,
Wow.
I'm sitting there like, one of my, I don't know if you guys know who Rob Piper is. He's like probably a top 5 black porn star of all time. Me and him have become really good friends. Like, he comes out and we hang out. We FaceTime like probably 2-3 times a week, and he's just a really cool dude. But we called him because he was the one that got us on there, and I was like, bro, I got to tell you about something. And I tell him the whole story we just told you, and he literally is like, yeah, that's pretty normal on there. And I was like, that's normal? And he goes, yeah, man, there's just a lot of people out there. And then tells me a story about a giantism fetish this guy has, where
Oh
he like,
yeah.
About giantism?
and like the guy pretends that he's being like eaten by giant ants and bugs and things.
Oh wow.
So it's all an interesting.
There, I think people would be surprised about the kind of things that are kind of more popular than people think.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which it's like, hey, to each their own, whatever gets your socks off.
And if you think you're into something weird, don't worry. There's somebody into some shit twice as weird as you. So don't feel bad.
Yeah,
Don't judge yourself
that's what
Exactly.
or anybody else.
Yes.
and it's almost always that I've noticed, like the business execs and like the people that are like very high profile that typically have
Yes.
the kinks that you would
Yes.
like a power exchange kind of thing. I don't know if that's the right way to word it.
Because that it's completely different from their normal everyday
Exactly.
life that they have to live.
Right. It's their getaway.
I'm like, hell yeah, you want me to talk shit to you? Let's go.
I have a hard time. I would like to think that I'm a nice person. So anytime somebody's like, "Yeah, talk shit to me," I'm just like, "Your nails look terribly long."
I used to be very like, oh, you have to like purposely be mean to people. Like that was such a hard thing. But like after doing quite a bit of like role play customs, I kind of really like the dominant like nature of that kind of stuff. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, I didn't know that I would be good at it, and it turns
Right.
out that I'm really good at it.
That's hilarious.
Like the small dick humiliation stuff. That's what she struggles with.
Yeah, I love every dick.
Yeah. I'm always like, if you want me to sit here and degrade you, then I will give you exactly what you wish for.
I want you to be happy too.
Yeah, exactly. Man, well, this has been so freaking awesome. We definitely have to have you guys on a podcast episode now, obviously, but I'm really glad that all the listeners have been able to. This is part 2, but this is definitely one of the longest spaces that I've done on here before. So this is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
No, I love, first off, I absolutely love doing spaces. I think it is the best way to connect with all, your followers, especially people. A lot of people just like give to those that pay it forward with money. But I definitely think that all the people here listening, like they like our content, they share it, they comment, and like that means the world as well. So I really love being able to get on a spaces and chit chat with everyone. And it's really cool because there's people really from all over the world on the spaces. So that's pretty badass.
That's awesome. I love that I stumbled upon yours because I love
Yeah,
it.
watching you guys have squared off battles in subreddits
Yeah.
has been over the years has been pretty comical.
That's
It's
so
been great.
funny.
It has been
That's
great.
awesome.
Squirt off. That would be a good subreddit. Squirt off.
Dude,
Dude.
we've been banned from all the good squirting Reddits. There's
Dude.
some of those mods because she has the letters OF in her name. So just out of nowhere, they decided to make that a rule like years after we'd been in there. So they just
Oh,
perma banned her from like 181 Reddits because this one mod mods them all. And we were
yep.
like, hey man, like, could could this not be a thing? Because like we've had a great rapport with you for a long time. And he was just like, no, I'm gonna ban you from all of them.
Yeah, you got upset. I
And we
just
were,
asked a
That's
question,
yeah, so
but
we can't squirt battle with you there anymore.
well, dang, now we have to open a subreddit just so we can do that.
yeah. Square off
Well,
instead
yeah,
of face off.
she's done that on people's faces, so that's a real thing. Squared off, face off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
This one's metaphorical.
Man, well, this has been super cool. And I definitely think, like, maybe we need to take a trip to Nashville now. It'd be pretty cool to hang out with you guys and explore some stuff. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we can do it as
Absolutely.
fun, work, pod, whatever you guys want to do. Just show you guys the city. We'd be happy to do so. We're very familiar.
Yeah.
We've become
Kind of Nashville.
kind of tourist guides for people that come to Nashville.
She's
So
a Nashville celebrity because of the cop thing. Like everybody knows who she is. So for whatever, right?
Oh, yeah,
reasons.
babe. You weren't here, but she was saying that was just a Reddit fan that they had,
He reached out to film, and we were like, "Hey, you're gonna have to get verified." And he joked about wanting to become an OnlyFans guy, anyways. So we were like, "Hey," of course, this was my dumb idea. I'm like, "We should do a fake traffic stop skit in like one of the cars, and like it'll be like a prelude to the video that we do here in a week or so." He was like, "Yeah, cool." And then that happened, and then it was like first he got fired, which was terrible. We had detectives roll up on our house. That sucked.
Oh my
And
God.
then it turned into like 30 days later they wanted to make an example out of him, so they slapped him with 2 felonies. So it was kind of a terrible thing, but it
Oh
won't
my
none
gosh.
of that's going to stick in the long term, so it's all fine, and we keep in contact with him. He's a super cool dude, and it's one of those can't believe everything you read on the news things. But yeah,
Right.
that was like a
That's
cool
Well,
thing but a
so
terrible
fucking
thing.
stupid.
Yeah, so
With I don't even want to get into it, but yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
just absolutely ridiculous.
we'll be happy to show you guys around and get you into some cool places and all that.
we won't
yeah,
get
that'd
you
be
in
awesome.
We won't get you in trouble
Uh,
unless you
not
want
as much trouble
unless you
Yeah.
anyways.
want to get in
Yeah.
trouble. We can do that too.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be on here. Seriously, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. It's been really awesome getting to know you guys.
Absolutely same.
It's good talking to you guys.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
Everyone else on here, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for joining Jordan and I for the chats. And I hope that you guys all have a badass Tuesday. Enjoy the rest, or Wednesday. Jeez, I don't even know what date it is. Hump day. That's the story of my life. Enjoy your hump day. Go check out Jordan's socials. Check out mine if you guys want to chit chat more. And we look forward to talking to you guys. So everyone just have a great day. Jordan, you guys have an awesome day as well.
You too. Bye, everybody.